We're trying to get started and we got a train. As soon as the train stops, I think this is going to be the new intro that I use every time, is just train horns. The train is gone and we are ready to get started. So anybody that knows me or has watched any of my videos knows that I'm not on the you need the latest, greatest, best of anything to get the job done. And I feel that way about most things, whether it's tools, hunting, fishing, whatever. However, after a couple hunts with Cliff Gray and Pursuit with Cliff became pretty adamant that I needed a better bow. So he ended up sending me this thing. And this bow is badass. It's the Hoyt RX8. It arrived and he sent it as a bare bow, which means no sights, no stabilizers, nothing. Got the bow in the mail, and the first thing I did was I called Eddie at Arizona Archery. As soon as I started talking to Eddie about this, the first thing he asked me was, what kind of sight are you gonna shoot? And normally I just would have went with something affordable, something that works, gets the job done. But because this RX8 is such an amazing bow, I wanted to do the same with the accessories and just see what the difference is. So I asked Eddie about it, we talked for a little bit and decided that the best bet is to go with this Axcel Driver. Now, I think they're getting a little easier to get, but they're still kind of tricky. A lot of shops don't have them in yet. Fortunately, Eddie's got some connections. We got a list together. We picked out all the accessories together. Eddie advised me on all the stuff. He got them sent over here. And on top of that, he went above and beyond, called reps, called friends, called everybody he could to find me a shop near where I was at in South Carolina that could set this thing up. The shop he ended up being recommended to by every person he talked to, and I did some of my own research, came to the same conclusion. Everybody recommended Jeff at Barefoot Archery. I called over there. Apparently the Hoyt sales rep and Eddie had also called over there. Everyone had talked to Jeff. I got there. Jeff took so much time to not only make sure everything was set up right, but talk through it with me and kind of welcome me into the community here. Sometimes these bow shops and other hunters, other archers can be a little bit gatekeepers, standoffish about somebody new coming into their town or their part of the world, and I didn't get that at all here. They were super welcoming. I spent probably 2 hours in the shop with Jeff, just talking, visiting, getting to know him while he set up the bow. Once he was done setting up everything in the shop, Jeff helped me out to paper tune the bow. I brought the bow back home to actually sight it in, and that's what I want to talk about right now, is the process that I went through to sight it in. The first part of the sighting in process for me is getting my 30-yard pin. I wanted that one sighted in dead on at 30. I took a couple close shots just to make sure I was somewhere on the neighborhood because my target's fairly small. Then I went back, I got my 20-yard, and to do that I moved the pin itself. There's an Allen head in here, you loosen that and then adjust this little knob here to move it up and down. Got my 20 done, my 30 was already good, got my 40 set. To go along with that, I needed to set these 3 little pins over here. Got those 3 set at 20, 30, 40. That made it super easy to set up my sight tape, because part of the problem with the sight tape is you kind of want like a 30-yard and a 60-yard mark on that blank tape, and you're probably going to lose some arrows if your target is only a 14 by 14 or whatever this thing is. But having this, all I had to do then was, I already knew the difference in 20, 30, and 40, so I just moved this top little one down to where the 40 was. That actually put me within like 3 inches of perfect at 60 yards. So I just adjusted a little with the wheel here, got that one dead on at 60 yards, made a little mark there. Now I have my 30-yard mark and my 60-yard mark, and this Axcel Driver comes with metal sight tapes, which are pretty cool. All I had to do was take those sight tapes and line up the 2 marks. And if your mark at 30 yards and 60 yards are the exact same on the metal sight tape as on the blank one where you marked it with a pen, you're gonna be set. That's all you need to do, because in that range gap, that'll line you up. So once that was done, from there, really all I did was just start shooting at different ranges, getting used to some things. Now also, you do have a windage right to left. Jeff had it set I didn't really need to mess with that at all because when you put it on, it was so close to exact. But when you have wind, very easy little knob right here to adjust left to right. And after that, it's just getting used to the bow, just shooting rep after rep after rep, getting used to how much this little wheel adjusts for your yardage. So for example, if you need to make a shot at 52 yards, how much do you need to turn that little knob? And I'll fine tune that over the next month before season starts. But for the most part, this thing's ready to go. I have been starting to do a little bit of varmint calling with it just to try and get some reps in, shooting at animals. Pretty excited about hunting with this thing, and I think it's gonna be a really good year. Hopefully this helps you guys to sight this thing in. If you can afford one of these, buy it. I'm excited to take this thing bear hunting and bash into some shit and really beat it up a little to see how it holds up. I like this positive lock because this thing will not move. When that lock is on, that driver is not moving. It's locked in there pretty tight. So I think this thing is gonna hold up really well. Hey guys, I hope this helps somebody out. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments. Thanks.